What's up, guys? Name's Thabiso Radebe, one part of Black Faff. For those that know us, you know that we're always a crew. Unfortunately, for today, there's only one of me. So basically, introduction as to who I am and what do I do. Simplest way for those that know us, we are customizing crew. Very artistic. We do a lot of sneakers. That's the main thing that's kind of put us on the map. We've been doing this for about 8, 9 years now. Personally, for myself, finished school, went to Wits, did a BA, didn't complete though, but always been about the arts, always been about street culture, always been about sports, always been about footwear, and just anything that's really dope, you know. Always trying to create shit, always trying to create dope shit, not just anything, just really cool stuff. And having watched the street culture in South Africa grow, I like the way that we actually positioned ourselves from the beginning to say that, yo, this is what we do in terms of art on sneakers and on garments and in terms of street culture, not like just every culture, but in terms of street culture. And we've kind of progressed from when we started to where we are now. At the beginning, it wasn't, not everybody was about it, not everybody was willing to put artwork on a pair of brand new Jordans. But when you look at it now and the way things have transcended, everybody wants to stand out. You know, everybody wants to do something unique on their garments, whether it's sneakers, whether it's caps, whether it's backpacks. Everybody wants something unique for themselves. So that's kind of helped us become a niche brand. For those that want something unique, they usually come to us. In regards to Black Faff, we started off in high school. Myself and my brother Ben went to the same high school, and the guys that we were with at the time, we kind of like just started. It first started from a love of music and sports. Five of us gathered, and we always used to hang around together. And we were like, you know, it's basically like already formatted click. Why not just stick it out and do what we like and just put it out there. I mean, that's when social media was still limited to Facebook at that point in time. Do what we like and basically communicate with those that speak a similar language, you know. So those that like sneakers, that's the people that we speak to. Those that like sports, that's the people that we speak to. Those that like the sort of music that we listen to, that's who we were speaking to at that point in time. Things really started taking off while the interest started growing. The help of social media was also really helpful. Constantly being online, constantly interacting with other people that were like minded online, meeting the guys from Cape Town because they're huge on the sneaker game, you know. First brand that we really did direct work with the brand was Superga. We did a couple of events with them at their Rosebank store to celebrate their 100th year anniversary. Did some custom work for a couple of their clients, and they were really happy with what we were doing. And that was 2011. 2 years later, we started working with Converse at trying to remember the event now. Before Sneaker Exchange, before Street Cred, we worked with Converse at Street Cred at Constitutional Hill. That was the first time we worked with them, and they were really impressed with the response, with the public response in terms of how people actually liked what we were doing. So the following year, the Made by You campaign, we were on board with Converse for that. And that's when we really went full steam ahead with us as a brand, customizing, and an actual real brand working together as like a collab to say, okay, you guys do this, here's our products, put the two together, let's give the service to the consumer. In terms of future plans, looking at what artists are doing overseas, in terms of getting sneaker collabs, in terms of getting projects that get released in limited numbers. If you look at someone like, big inspiration of mine is Shoe Surgeon. That really inspires what we do to say, you know what, there's more cats out there like you. There's kids that want to do what you're doing, they just don't know how. So what are you guys going to do about it? So in terms of future plans, in terms of what we're trying to do, we're trying to take what we're doing and teach it to other people. I mean, it took us a while to learn everything. A lot of trial and error at the beginning, doing sneakers and messing them up because you didn't know what was the right product. You didn't know how to prep a pair of leather sneakers in terms of before applying the paints, what do you have to do? Because a pair of Air Force Ones and a pair of Converse are completely different shoes. The actual material that you're working on, so the paint that you use is going to be different. So sourcing information out like that, how do you, once the product is finished, what do you do? How do you maintain the paint so that it doesn't fade after 2 or 3 wears? So things like that, people out there want to do what we're doing, but they don't know how to go about doing it. So obviously, the next aspect of what we're doing is to teach other people. Don't ever be greedy with the information that you have. If you've got knowledge, share it with others. So at the moment, we're trying to work on putting out a program mainly for kids. If you look at what we got here, we every now and again we have kids come over and they play around with sneakers and they get to draw on paper and just kind of teach them on a basic level, like, okay, these sneakers, that sneaker, for example, Jordan 1s, there's a difference between a Chicago and a like the UNC. It's not just about the colors. There's a certain history to it. It's, some people don't know that. If you look at collabs with Pharrell, teaching kids about little things like that, but then also teaching them how to how to do something unique on their own sneakers, or even just simply take care of their sneakers. You know, Parents are spending thousands on name brand sneakers, and some of these kids get through those sneakers in 3 4 months because they don't know how to take care of them. Teaching them how to use products like a sneaker cleaner, like a crep. You got to teach them how to use it so that when they do buy the shoes, they learn how to keep it. They look at the old cats, and for example, someone will have a pair of Jordan ones for 5 years and they're still fresh as 4 years ago, and you've had yours for 4 months and they're already trash. Like, what's the difference between them and you? How is it that they were able to maintain theirs and you weren't able to maintain yours?